What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Warren's World. The other day on the water, I kind of got my tail whooped. It's been really bad weather, really bad water conditions all spring. Every time I get to go, I mean, hey, it's the weekend and it's bright bluebird skies again. We just had a terrible front roll through. Some of the rivers in the area dropped 12 degrees in 12 hours. So I just can't seem to catch a break. But the other day when I was on the water, I wasn't getting bit, and I had to fall back to one of my finesse rods. Finesse is my thing. I love doing finesse. But as soon as I fell back to the finesse rod, I started getting bit. I didn't want to use a finesse rod, and I was trying to basically force a square peg in a round hole. I wanted to throw jigs. I wanted to flip. I wanted to catch big pre-spawn fish. The fact of the matter was, the weather was crazy. The lake had come up. It was dirty, muddy water. I couldn't see beds. You could only see about a foot down. At the boat ramp, you could see super clear. Halfway up the lake, it turned to coffee. Lesson learned: you don't fish history, and you don't get to pick what the fish are biting on. You don't decide, I want to catch them on a jig today, so I'm gonna throw a jig all day. You have to be adaptable. You have to catch, you have to throw what they're biting. That's a lesson I learned when I used to tournament fish. I learned it the hard way, and I let it kick me in the tail the other day too. So getting caught up, springtime, pre-spawn, fish trying to go up on the beds. It's April, we're about to have a full moon, water's in the 60s, and I got stuck with the big rods, heavy line, flipping, didn't want to switch over and just get the bites. So not in a tournament, but I spent the whole day chucking creatures and jigs and not getting bit. So definitely made some bad calls, but lesson learned: every time I go out from now till fishing shuts down, I'm going to have my finesse gear with me. So I decided to go ahead and walk you through my finesse gear. I talk about it a lot, but I haven't done any rod reviews. So this is going to be a rod arsenal for my 3 main finesse rods. I've got more than this, but these are the 3 that I rely on day in, day out to put fish in a boat. So let's start with, well, we'll start with this one. This is the one you actually saw in the video the other day. I can get them untangled here. All right. So, being funny, if you've ever seen Kill Bill, which most people have at this point, I nicknamed this rod Oren from the character in the movie. Okay, wicked samurai, Japanese, what have you. So I love this rod. What this is a Johnny Morris Carbon Light. This is before they made them suck, turned them white. But I hate white reels, and they made them white, so I'm not buying another one until they change the color. This is a 6'9" medium light action, maxes out a 10-pound test line. I know most bass fishing, you know, it's 20, 25, and I hear guys talking about, oh, I'm only throwing this on 20. And to me, that just boggles my mind. Like, you're only throwing it on 20? That's what I throw jigs on, and I don't break fish off. And I've landed, this has, right now, this has a 15-pound braid to a 8-pound fluorocarbon leader. I usually use 8, 6, or 4 on this rod. Great action on it. Again, you can see super fast tip, good springy action. It's perfect for the way that I fish this. But it's insane to me that you're worried about breaking 25-pound test. I mean, God, how hard are you setting a hook? But that's just me. I've got this paired up with a JDM. This is an Ultegra Advance 2500S. The Ultegras, you can get them in the US now, you can get the new models, but again, this is a super shallow spool. This has 15-pound braid on it. If you throw braid, you know how thin it is. On a single cast, this is a 1/8 ounce jig head with a 4-inch finesse worm. I can cast this and see the spool underneath. That's how shallow this spool is. Does not hold a lot of line, but I mean, I don't need it to hold a lot of line. What it's on here now, because it just looks so dope, is black Cast King braid. I gotta be honest, guys, I'm taking it off. It looks pretty, but it's too thick for what I want. I can hear it zipping. And the other day I was actually tying a knot, and I actually broke it. I broke 15-pound braid just pulling on it. So maybe the line had a nick, or maybe it's got something where it's not stable, UV stable enough, or what have you, but that's all it took. We're dealing with 6- and 8-pound test line. Not a lot of pressure, but I do catch big fish with this little bitty rod. I don't have time for the braid to be the weak point in the system. So that's gonna come off. We've got here is Iron Athlete. This is Lucky Craft PE. I actually picked this up, and Tackle Warehouse had a 25 days of Christmas. I picked this up for $1.99. This is $45 worth of line right here. Picked it up for $1 something. I wish I'd have bought more, but it was untested to me. But this is super, super thin stuff. So that's going on here once this rod video is done. Why I chose this reel. This is a super refined reel. It's got like 9 ball bearings in it. It's got a super loose drag on it, okay? Underneath this drag knob where the washers are, it actually sits on its own ball bearing. So it's very hard to lock this reel down. The intent behind that is the drag is gonna release really easily. You hear guys talking about when you're using super light line, you got a back reel. I've never back reeled in my life, but this drag slips easy. It does not take a lot of force to get it going, okay? With the proper hook set, I haven't had any issues. You'll hear my drag slip on the hook set. Fish that you wouldn't think would peel drag, but again, 6 and 8 pound test line, I'm not really trying to horse those fish. I mean, you could crappie fish on this setup, and I've caught 10 pound bowfin on it. I've hooked striper on it. It's never failed me. So again, it's designed to slip. It does not hold a lot of line. It's got a large arbor on it, and then it's just actually a beautiful reel. But I picked this up, JDM Market. I kind of waited until one became available because I have one and I wanted another. So definitely one of the best reel purchases I've ever made. But again, this is a Finesse swim worm setup, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, the only bait that ever goes on that rod is this right here. You can see that. See if I can get some sunlight. This is a 4-inch Charlie Brewer slider worm. It's an 1/8 ounce bullet weight molded onto a weedless worm hook. There's 2 different types. There's a pro model, which is that one, and there's a super thin wire one. I use both, but this pretty much never ever comes off this rod. It may come off this year because I'm kind of torn between that and my drop shot rod, which one to put a Ned rig on. So I don't want to buy another setup, but I'll probably end up doing that just because I rely so heavily on my Finesse gear. I don't want to be switching back and forth, untying and retying and untying and retying. So that's my slider rod, as I call it. Johnny Mars Carbon Light Ultegra Advance. This, again, same reel. I won't go into all the details on the reel because I just did, but this is a Shimano Cumara 6'8" medium action, and I use this for shaky head fishing. And store your reels with the drags backed off, by the way. Don't keep the drags locked down and put them on a rod rack. This is medium action Shimano Cumara, super high-end rod. I've got 2 of them. I had 3. I broke one. They have never failed me. These rods are absolutely wicked. They are worth the $330. That won't happen again, but they were absolutely worth the money. And that black rod with that reel, I mean, that's just a gorgeous package. Again, super loose drag on that. I've got this spooled up again, which is going to come off with braid going to 8 pound fluorocarbon leader. I will take this up to 10 depending, but I'm gonna tell you guys, I throw shaky heads on this on 8 pound test under boat docks and in standing timber. I don't have an issue with it. If you play the fish right, if you're confident, if you know your gear, you don't need 40 pound test. You don't need 70 pound braid to a 40 pound leader. That's saltwater stuff. So definitely a super sensitive rod, quick to backbone. I've got a little Finesse jig on here, but there you go. It bends less than the other rod. That's in frame or not, but I mean, that rod's got great backbone. It's just absolutely great backbone. Never failed me. I love when it's time to pick this rod up and throw it. Last but not least, this is absolutely gorgeous. I'll probably put some stills up on my Facebook page for this just so you guys can see it. This is a Shimano Soare Blood Brother. So this is a Shimano Soare BB, which stands for Blood Brother. Look at the colors on that. It's got copper anodized handles, copper accents. I don't know if you can see the flake in it, but it's a copper flake in a bronze black body with chrome. I mean, this reel is absolutely gorgeous. I've got this paired up with a Fenwick Elite Tech drop shot stick, extreme sensitivity. Again, a super high-end rod I picked up several years ago, has never let me down. This is a 6'10" medium light, extra fast. Maxes out a 10-pound test line also. You can see it's actually got a carbon cone up here, so when you're holding the reel, I don't choke up on my reels. So whatever position you're holding the reel, you have contact to the blank here. The action on this rod, I mean, that is just, if I can get the drag stop slipping. I mean, look at that. It is truly extremely sensitive. Fished a tournament and I got back to weigh in and everybody was asking me, were you really drop shotting 40 feet of water? Yep, I was drop shotting 40 feet of water and I could feel every single bite. I'm gonna tell you, I can feel bites where the tip of the rod doesn't even load up, doesn't even move, it doesn't bow, but I can tell that there's a fish on that rod. Absolutely worth every penny I paid for it. They don't make them anymore. I wish I could get 2 more. I'd probably use one. It's got the recoil guides on it. If you try to buy recoil guides to put on a rod blank, the recoil guides alone are 20 to 30 bucks a piece per guide. And this has what, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 guides on it plus the tip. So yeah, but again, absolutely gorgeous combo. I wish I could tell you what line is on here. This line is as thin as hair. I know it's PE. This is a JDM reel again. When I got it from Japan, it had this line on it and they couldn't tell me what it was. I have my ideas on what it is, but I'm gonna tell you this line is super, it's hair thin. With a 1/8 ounce drop shot weight, I can cast it probably 40 yards easy, and you're talking an 1/8 ounce weight, like 40 yards with an 1/8 ounce weight. This stuff spools off so quick and is so fine, it just goes. It's really dense, it's really sensitive, and it lays on the spool perfectly. I think I know who makes it. I'm not gonna say who makes it. I'm gonna have to buy a spool of it. Those are my 3 main finesse rods. Got a couple more old ones that I kind of took out of rotation, so I use those for things like trick worms, floating worms, wacky rigs. I will probably tie a Senko on the one this year, but you will be hard pressed to find me throwing a Senko. Just not my thing. I just don't do it. But yep, so that's my rod arsenal for my finesse rods. You will see these a lot more in every video going forward. That again, worth every penny. Every single rod here, I'd buy it again in a heartbeat without hesitation. I'm not looking to upgrade them. They're perfect they're just absolutely perfect. So, but Facebook page will be in the description. Photos will be on the Facebook page, and I will try to find models of these and link them in the description below if you want to try to find one for yourself. If you want to get into finesse fishing and you don't know what to buy, you want to try to get one of these, trust me, you won't be let down. They work perfectly. Again, the Bass Pro Shops one, it's available in white. I'll see if I can find it on eBay, but yeah, the white one's just not as pretty. So there you go, that's that. See you next video.